create balanced immigration policies that address labor needs and humanitarian concerns. While some people have strong reasons to migrate, they often face significant barriers that prevent or delay their movement. Economic costs such as expensive visa fees, travel expenses, and resettlement costs can make migration difficult. Legal restrictions, including strict immigration policies and lengthy application processes, limit access to new opportunities. Political barriers, such as government-imposed travel bans or hostile policies toward migrants, create further obstacles. Social factors, including discrimination and language barriers, can make integration challenging even for those who successfully migrate. Geographic obstacles, such as mountains, deserts, or dangerous sea routes, add physical risks to migration. These barriers highlight the complexities of migration and the struggles many individuals face in seeking a better life. Migration impacts both the home country and the destination country in various ways. For the home country, emigration can lead to a loss of skilled workers, often called brain drain, which affects economic growth and development. However, remittances sent by migrants to their families can provide financial support and stimulate local economies. In destination countries, immigrants contribute to the labor market, often filling essential roles in industries like healthcare, agriculture, and construction. While migration can lead to economic benefits, it may also create tensions due to concerns about job competition and cultural integration. Socially, migration fosters diversity and enriches cultural landscapes, leading to a more globally connected society. Effective policies can maximize the positive effects of migration while addressing potential challenges. Migration is a complex and deeply personal process that affects millions of people worldwide. Some migrants move voluntarily in search of better economic prospects, while others are forced to flee due to conflict, persecution, or environmental disasters. The journey is often dangerous, with risks of exploitation, violence, and uncertainty. Many migrants leave behind loved ones, uncertain if they will ever reunite. Host countries play a crucial role in shaping migrants' experiences through policies and social support systems. Understanding the realities of migration helps combat stereotypes and fosters empathy toward displaced individuals. It is essential to approach migration discussions with nuance, recognizing both the challenges and opportunities it presents. Migration is a fundamental aspect of human history, shaping societies through population movements. There are two main types of migration: emigration, which refers to leaving one's home country, and immigration, which refers to settling in a new country. Throughout history, people have migrated for various reasons, from seeking economic prosperity to escaping persecution. One example is the migration from Finland to the United States, commemorated by a memorial statue in Hanko, Finland. Migration has influenced cultural exchanges, economic growth, and demographic changes in many regions. In modern times, globalization and technological advancements have made migration more accessible for some, but still challenging for many. Examining past and present migration patterns helps us understand its long-term impact on societies. Migrant workers play a crucial role in economies around the world, often taking on labor-intensive jobs that local workers may not fill. In agricultural communities, for example, migrant workers provide essential labor for planting, harvesting, and processing crops. Despite their contributions, many migrant workers face harsh working conditions, low wages, and limited legal protections. Language barriers and lack of access to health care and social services further exacerbate their struggles. Some programs offer legal pathways for seasonal migrant work, but challenges such as exploitation and inadequate living conditions remain prevalent. Addressing these issues requires stronger labor protections, fair wages, and improved working conditions. ensuring migrant workers' rights benefits both the workers and the economies that depend on them. Canada has a long and complex history of refugee policies, ranging from exclusionary measures to welcoming initiatives. In the past, discriminatory policies such as the Chinese head tax and the continuous journey rule limited immigration for certain ethnic groups. During the early 20th century, Black immigrants faced deliberate barriers imposed by the Canadian government to discourage their settlement. The Komagata Maru incident in 1914 exemplified Canada's restrictive immigration policies when South Asian passengers were denied entry. In the 1930s and 1940, thousands of European Jews fleeing Nazi persecution were also turned away due to anti-Semitic policies. However, Canada has since taken steps toward more inclusive refugee policies, including resettling large numbers of refugees from Vietnam, Syria, and Afghanistan. Understanding this history helps us reflect on past mistakes and strive for fairer refugee policies today. The Geneva Convention of 1951 was a turning point in defining refugee rights and responsibilities for signatory countries, including Canada. The convention outlined legal protections for refugees and established criteria for determining refugee status. Initially, the agreement primarily addressed the displacement of millions of Europeans following World War II. Over time, Canada expanded its refugee policies to accommodate displaced persons from different regions worldwide. In 1978, Canada's Immigration Act included a humanitarian category for refugees needing protection. In 1986, Canada received the UN's Nansen Medal for its efforts in welcoming and resettling refugees. These developments highlight Canada's evolving approach to refugee protection and humanitarian aid. The 1985 Singh decision was a landmark Supreme Court ruling that strengthened refugee rights in Canada. The ruling stated that refugee claimants in Canada are entitled to fundamental legal protections under the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. As a result, refugee claimants gained the right to a fair hearing and access to legal representation. April 4th, the date of the Singh decision, is now recognized annually as Refugee Rights Day in Canada. The ruling led to the creation of the Immigration and Refugee Board (IRB) in 1988 to oversee refugee claims. While Canada has improved its refugee system, challenges such as backlogged claims and changing policies continue to affect asylum seekers. Ensuring fair and efficient refugee processing remains a critical issue for Canadian policymakers. Canada has developed a reputation as a global leader in refugee resettlement. Unlike many countries, Canada allows private sponsorship of refugees, enabling community groups and individuals to support resettlement efforts. This program has helped thousands of refugees find safety and build new lives in Canada. The government also maintains an active resettlement program, providing support for housing, language training, and employment. Canada's refugee system includes gender guidelines to address specific vulnerabilities faced by women and children. Minimal detention of refugee claimants distinguishes Canada from some countries with stricter asylum policies. Despite challenges, Canada's commitment to refugee protection remains a model for other nations. Canada's history includes troubling instances of internment, where specific ethnic groups were unjustly imprisoned during wartime. During World War I, immigrant prisoners of Ukrainian, Austrian, Hungarian, and German descent were detained in internment camps. One of the most well-known camps was the Castle Camp in Banff National Park, where prisoners were forced into labor. These internments were driven by wartime fears and xenophobia rather than actual security threats. Internment policies resurfaced during World War II, with Japanese Canadians being forcibly relocated and stripped of their property. Recognizing these injustices has led to formal apologies and efforts to educate the public on human rights violations. Learning from these past mistakes is essential in preventing similar injustices today. Throughout the late 20th and early 21st centuries, Canada has continued to refine its refugee policies. The country has responded to various global crises by welcoming refugees from Vietnam, Syria, and Afghanistan. In 2015, Canada gained international recognition for resettling over 25,000 Syrian refugees within a few months. Policies continue to evolve to address the needs of refugees fleeing conflict, climate change, and persecution. While Canada has made significant progress, ongoing challenges remain in ensuring fair processing times and adequate support for new arrivals. Public attitudes toward refugees fluctuate based on economic and political factors, influencing policy changes. Maintaining a commitment to humanitarian principles remains essential for Canada's future approach to refugee protection.